In this lesson, we're talking about proprietary eponyms. That's just a fancy word for a brand name that we use as a regular noun, like Velcro, for example, one of the words we're going to practice today. It'll make more sense when we look at the examples. But here's a textbook definition. Proprietary eponym is a brand name that has become so synonymous with a generic item that the brand name becomes the defining and more popular word for that product. So that is a proprietary eponym. Here's how to pronounce it. You really want to stress the second syllable in proprietary. That's the strongest syllable. So make the vowel louder and longer here. Proprietary. Proprietary. You hear how my vowel gets louder, longer, and goes up in pitch. Now there's also what I call a Y shadow between these two vowels. This happens a lot in English. In order to have really smooth, connected speech, we connect vowels with either a y, or what I call a Y shadow, or a w. I call it a W shadow. And you can learn more about that in another lesson. But right here, we're using the Y shadow to connect the Y in propri to the sound. So we're going to put a big y sound. Proprietary. 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 Perfect. There's also another strong syllable here in eponym. It's the first syllable in eponym. So again, vowel is louder and longer. And because this letter O is the weakest syllable in the word eponym, it's going to be replaced by the sound, also known as the schwa or the unstressed vowel. In a completely unstressed syllable, most of the time in English, we drop whatever vowel is there and replace it with a very quick Sometimes I tell my students, just skip the vowel, cut the vowel, don't say the vowel at all. Listen when I say it. Eponym, eponym, eponym. I almost skip that syllable completely. You reduce the vowel so much that it sounds like it's not even there. And that, my friends, getting that contrast between the big, long, wavy vowels in the strong syllables and cutting and reducing the vowels in these little weak syllables, that's the key to the rhythm of American English. And you can learn more about that in another lesson. But for right now, feel that when we practice this phrase, let's put it all together. Lots of emphasis on strong syllables, rush through the weak syllables, find that Y shadow in proprietary. There's actually another one in but when if you decide to connect proprietary eponym, if you connect the whole thing, which is what we're doing here, you will use a Y shadow. If you decide to pause, which is totally fine, proprietary eponym, that Y shadow won't be there because we only use it when we connect the vowels. But as your teacher for today, I want you to practice connection. So find that Y shadow between the words proprietary eponym. Let's do it 3 times. Proprietary eponym. Proprietary eponym. Proprietary eponym. And now let's practice a few proprietary eponyms. You probably won't use proprietary eponym that often, but you will use these words, starting with Velcro. I had no idea that Velcro was a brand name, but it is. Velcro is the brand name for any hook and loop fastener. Velcro's much more concise, so maybe that's why we use it more often. But let's practice the pronunciation of Velcro. The first syllable is the strong syllable, so stress that syllable a lot. Velcro. We also have a W shadow at the end of the word because of the vowel O. Anytime you say the vowel O, in American English at least, it ends with a lot of lip rounding. And because your lips are rounding, the listener hears a W sound. O. It's not enough just to say O. It's not enough to say Velcro, Velcro, Velcro. You see my lips? They have to release. Velcro, Velcro. Velcro. And I'm not exaggerating, Velcro. That release of the lips ends up, you can think of it one of two ways. You can think of releasing your lips because that's part of a sound, or you can practice pronouncing a W shadow. It's a W, a W sound at the end of every O sound, especially when O is at the end of a word, like it is here in Velcro. Velcro. Try it. Velcro. Good. Now let's try it in a sentence. We're going to use that W shadow to connect the O in Velcro to the vowel I in is. Remember, English, and American English in particular, is all varieties of English. I shouldn't say just American English. The words are really connected. We don't put space between the words. We really connect everything. So this happens a lot more than you realize. We're going to practice using that W that we talked about in O to connect it to the next word. Let's try the sentence. We will do it twice slowly, then once at a normal conversational pace. The Velcro is in my sewing box. Try it. The Velcro is in my sewing box. You should have heard that W there. Velcro is. Velcro is. If I take it out, it sounds like this. The Velcro is in my. Do you hear the difference? Listen again without the W shadow. The Velcro is in my, with the W shadow. The Velcro is in my sewing box. I don't have to stop my voice. Now, conversational pace. The Velcro is in my sewing box. Very nice. Moving on to our next brand name that we use as a regular noun, Frisbee. Again, I had no idea until I created this lesson that Frisbee was a brand name, but it is. When you pronounce it, put a lot of emphasis on the first syllable and drag the vowel at the end. So not, the vowel E is a very long vowel. All the vowels are long in English, but E is especially long. It has a Y shadow at the end. So you don't want to hear Frisbee, Frisbee, Frisbee. Drag that vowel, make it louder, longer, not louder, longer than you think it should be, and put that Y shadow at the end. Frisbee. Frisbee. That's exaggerated, but I wanted you to hear it. Try it in an exaggerated way with a big Y at the end. Frisbee. Now keep the Y part of it, just make it a little shorter. Frisbee. 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 Good. If you didn't know, I should have said this. A Frisbee is, I have the textbook definition, a flying plastic disc. Let me try that again. A flying plastic disc used for various catching games. Throw a Frisbee. So that's what it is. Anyway, let's try a sentence. And we're going to leave the E at the end here in Frisbee. So I really want you to try to get that Y shadow. 2 times slowly. 3rd time will be conversational. Darren caught the Frisbee. Darren caught the Frisbee. Conversational, let's speed it up. Darren caught the Frisbee. Now, if you were one of my private students, and I'm going to make you do this. Let's practice this as if it's a question. We're going to change up the intonation. So we just practiced a statement. Darren caught the Frisbee. Now let's pretend that Darren is not very good at this Frisbee game, and we can't believe that he caught the Frisbee. So someone told us Darren caught the Frisbee. We're going to make it a question. Darren caught the Frisbee? And we're going to go up in pitch at the end of the sentence. Darren caught the Frisbee? Try it. And then the person would probably answer to confirm, yeah, Darren caught the Frisbee. Maybe he's practiced, gotten better, who knows. But notice the difference between a statement that goes down in pitch at the end, Darren caught the Frisbee, and a question that goes up in pitch at the end. Darren caught the Frisbee? Yes, Darren caught the Frisbee. Moving on to our next proprietary idiom, not idiom. Moving on to our next proprietary eponym, dumpster. A dumpster is a large trash receptacle designed to be hoisted and emptied into a truck. A big old garbage can is basically what a dumpster is, and I didn't know it was a proper name or a brand name, but it is. Now, what I want you to notice about this word, this is pretty cool. I want you to notice that we're using the sound in both syllables. Dumpster. Dumpster. It's the same vowel in both syllables, but I agree with you. They sound completely different, and that is because of the emphasis, stress, or rhythm. Sounds completely different in the strong syllable, completely different than it does in the weak syllable. When it's in the weak syllable, it becomes the schwa or the unstressed vowel. But as in the word some, is the same vowel that we use in the unstressed vowel. One is longer and one is shorter, and this word demonstrates that so perfectly for us. The in the first syllable, which is the strong syllable, is the dump. The in the second syllable is the schwa or the unstressed vowel. So it's the same vowel, stir. It's hard to isolate it in the unstressed syllable, but we cut the vowel, we make it short, we rush through it. So I want you to really listen as I say it. Try to notice that it's the same sound. Dumpster. 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 It's the same sound, but when we put the correct rhythm, it sounds really different. And that's really what I want you to practice. So let's do this word 3 times. Repeat after me. Lots of emphasis on the first syllable. Really rush through the second. Dumpster. 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 Good. In a sentence. This is a sentence you would use. Throw it in the dumpster. I've got a W shadow here between throw and it, so I really want you to get that. It makes it's so much easier. If I break it up, throw it in the dumpster. Throw it in, broken up. Much harder to say than using that W shadow. Throw it. Say wit. Scoot it over and literally say wit. Throw it in the dumpster. Try it. Slowly again. Throw it in the dumpster. Now keep that W, just speed it up. And you'll see my lips do the W. Throw it in the dumpster. Throw it in the dumpster. Now get annoyed that someone hasn't listened to you. You've told them to throw it in the dumpster 3 times. Let's make it stronger with our intonation. Throw it in the dumpster. Very nice. Practicing different intonations along with your regular practice is going to make you a more expressive speaker. So it might feel a little silly to create these situations where we change up the intonation. It might feel silly, as I said, but it's really good for you to play with that variety of rate, variety of pitch, and even variety of volume, getting louder and softer. So one more time, you're annoyed, throw it in the dumpster. Very good. All right, ping pong, ping pong. Ping pong is, it's table tennis. It's a game. And it is a proper noun, a brand name. Can you imagine? Anyway, in the word ping pong, we're going to give equal stress to both syllables here. So we're not going to feel that strong and weak. Ping pong, ping pong. Both vowels will be louder, not louder. We don't have louder, longer, and go up in pitch, but we're not comparing it to anything else right now. So both vowels will be loud, long, and you'll hear a step down in pitch. Ping. Pong, pong, like you're going down a little step with your pitch. But when you do it in conversation, it's so fast that sometimes it's not noticeable. Ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. Yes, I've tried to be a good ping pong player. I think it's a really cool sport, but I need to work a little on the eye-hand coordination to be, I'm not good. That's what I'll say. I'm a terrible ping pong player. But let's practice it in a sentence. Give that equal stress to both and really make your vowel a little, if you're a non-native speaker, if English is not your first language, your tendency is always going to be to shorten the vowel and not make it long enough. So go for the vowel. Really go for that change in pitch, that step down. 2 times slowly. There's a ping pong table in the game room. There's a ping pong table in the game room. Okay, speed it up. There's a ping pong table in the game room. Very nice. Notice that I said there's and not there is. Using contractions when you are speaking English we use contractions all the time. In fact, not when we're writing. When we're writing, we will write out the full form, but definitely one really quick and easy, well, I say quick and easy, maybe not quick and easy, but simple way to sound more American when you speak is to use contractions. So instead of there is a ping pong table, there's a ping pong. There's a ping pong table. There's a ping pong table in the game room. It's just something to think about. Our last example for today is styrofoam. Now, I had to get this definition from Wikipedia. So according to Wikipedia, styrofoam is a trademarked brand of closed-cell extruded polystyrene foam. I think I'm saying polystyrene correctly, but I didn't look it up. So if you check me out, if I'm incorrect, let me know below this video. Polystyrene? Well, anyway, extruded polystyrene foam is also known as XPS. I don't know if you'll need to know that, but it's good for practicing rhythm. Extruded polystyrene foam. We're not going to practice that more, but it's commonly called blue board. That's what styrofoam is, and that's the word that I want you to practice. So really go for the first syllable here. Second syllable is weak, so you're going to cut that vowel, and even though it's an O letter, the sound is going to be the unstressed vowel. Or you can think, just cut the vowel completely. Let's try it. Styrofoam. That's a nice rhythm. Styrofoam. Styrofoam. The rhythm of English is like a song that you can memorize. And if you can sing to me la la la, or da da da, or bop ba da, you can get the rhythm of styrofoam. It's exactly the same thing. The way to get it, imitate, practice, really. Your muscles remember, even when your brain doesn't. And that's how we change our speech to be automatic in real conversations. And conversation is the only place that it really matters. So start listening for those little rhythms and songs and practice them when you can, like on this word, styrofoam. Let's try it in a sentence. We'll go slowly twice, then a conversational pace. Here we go. Don't put styrofoam containers in the microwave. And that's not just practice, that's a truth. Don't put styrofoam containers in the microwave, but we'll do it slowly. Don't put styrofoam containers in the microwave. And up to tempo, normal conversational rate. Don't put styrofoam containers in the microwave. There's a good practice for the unstressed vowel in microwave as well. Even though that O that's right in the middle is the letter O, again, it's going to be replaced with the unstressed vowel. So don't say microwave, say micro. Microwave. 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 Good. That's a word you'll probably use a lot as well. So there you have it. 5 proprietary idioms or brand names that we use as regular nouns without really knowing it. Now, these are great words for you to practice because they will come up in a real conversation. But this topic of proprietary idioms is also, I keep calling them idioms, but this topic of proprietary eponyms, it's also a really interesting topic. Even as a native speaker, I didn't know this existed, and I had to look these up to find a list. So this is a great little conversation starter. If you're at a party and you're making conversation, sometimes it's hard to find things to talk about, but this is a really interesting one, especially if you're in a room that has, let's say there are styrofoam cups or containers and you're making small talk or making conversation. Did you know that styrofoam is actually a brand name, not a regular noun? We just use it all the time because it's so common. That's a really cool way to start a conversation with someone. It's interesting. So just something to keep in mind, something to use to make you a better communicator overall. Remember, it's not always about it's not just about pronunciation. It's definitely not about the accent. It's feeling confident when you communicate, and we can all work to be better speakers and better communicators. That's it for this lesson. I hope it was helpful, and I hope to see you again soon in another lesson.